Namaste, beloved community. Hello, and welcome to Insightful Conversations with Dawna. I am Dawna, and I am really glad that you are here. And I wanted to remind you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, is the live roundtable discussion that Shri and Kira will be leading, and several hosts from Oneness Talk Radio shows, such as Jess Jutman, who I know most of you know, myself included. We are going to be talking about post-pandemic, what the world is going to look like, how to navigate, some tips and ideas for navigating through that. So you definitely want to join us at Facebook or YouTube on onenesstalkradio.com channel tonight, and it's going to be a great event. And then definitely join us for New Year's Eve. If you haven't seen the posts that I've been posting, or been on Oneness Talk Radio, or been on shriandkira.com or on their Facebook page, you want to check out New Year's Eve. It's going to be an incredible opportunity. Kira is going to bring through a profound ensoulment. And for these past 7 years, everything that they have brought through from the angels and from God have been profound and beneficial to humanity, and very accurate and supportive as we all are working hard to better ourselves, to awaken spiritually, and to remember who we are, to remember our magnificence, to remember our divinity, to remember that we are a part of the divine, that we are part of God. We have God in us, or whatever you believe that. So make sure that you sign up for the New Year's Eve celebration. It is also 7 p.m. Eastern. So you can join us, have this incredible celebration, and get some incredible information that Shri and Kira are going to share, and kind of party with us a little bit, and then go off to your parties and your celebration, whatever you do. It's early enough that it shouldn't interfere with all of that. So make sure you get signed up and join us. And then I wanted to just namaste everyone. I just wanted to apologize, Lars. I missed you last week on the cards when I was pulling the cards, and I apologize. I know you asked a question about abundance, and I wanted to answer that. So I did pull you a card, and it came through as Archangel Michael, who is our protector. He also can clear the way and clear blocks out from in front of us. And so, Lars, I just want you to know that, yes, actually, when I tapped into your energy, 2022 is going to be a phenomenal year for abundance for you. Make sure you're not sabotaging yourself. Make sure that you are calling on Archangel Michael, that you're calling on God, that you're calling on your angels and guides to help you see where you are limiting yourself, and help you remove those so that you can move forward and allow the incredible abundance that is there for you. And this really goes for everyone, right? The planets, everything is in alignment to support us to transform, to awaken, to ascend, and to accept and create huge abundance, and to share our gifts and talents with the world, and help support humanity. So I just wanted to pass that on to everyone, but also, Lars, I apologize that I missed you last week. I will make sure and catch you next time. So just wanted to put that out there. I am so excited for my guest today, who is a dear friend who I've had on before, and I know that you all love her as well. Lori Ellis. She is an author. She is a mother, a grandmother, even though she doesn't look like it. She is so smart, and I always learn a lot from her. She's very passionate about health and wellness and fitness and hydration, and really doing things to help support the body for optimal, vibrant health and wellness. And I love how she's always talking about how there is no such thing as age-related illness. It is inflammation based. It's acid. It's inflammation, and she has done an amazing job at healing herself. She got very sick and went through her journey, and if you've heard her before, you know this, and if you've not, you'll hear more in just a moment. So she's just amazing, and she's got some great information for you today. So make sure that you tune in. You might want to grab a pen and paper, because there might be some things that you're going to want to write down. And without further ado, I want to bring on my dear friend, Lori Ellis. Hi, Lori.
Hi, how are you? My amazing, beautiful friend. Thank you for all of that. And everything that you said about me, I say right back about you.
Oh,
you're incredible. So I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. And I don't have your book in front of me. Now, I did put it on my banner. Sorry, it's in Boise and I'm in Idaho. Yes, there we go. So that's what it looks like. And so you want to go on Amazon and try to find that. Is it re-released yet, or is it still? Did we lose you, Lori? We might have lost Lori. It's a live healthy, free life. And Lori is an amazing woman, and her book, and I hope she's able to pop back on. So when you do, Lori, just jump back on. In the meantime, while we are waiting for her, I will just give you a little bit of information about the planets while we're waiting for Lori to hopefully sign back on. Mars just entered Sagittarius yesterday, and almost immediately, shortly after that, Mercury left Sagittarius and went into Capricorn. And so Mars in Sagittarius gives you that urge to be free, that urge to expand, and to find experiences, right? Oh, I think Lori is back. Yay!
Hi, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden it just disappeared, but we're back.
Yeah, all of a sudden you froze, and it was like, oh, you showed the book and then you froze, and like, oh, but I figured you would come back in. So I was just talking a little bit about how the different planets have moved signs, and a little bit about what that means, just while we were waiting for you to come back. But now that you're back, let's talk more about.
Yes.
You have done an incredible job at helping your body to heal and to obtain vibrant, optimal health and wellness. You have a ton of energy and a ton of, vitality, and you're fit and lean, but you still eat yummy foods, and you have great recipes, and all of that stuff. So can you talk a little bit about, first of all, what led you down this path?
Okay. Yes, I'll keep it really brief. It's something that is still so close to me. When something happens and you go through something that you feel is so powerful, it always just feels like it's right there. So it was I'll be 55 next month. So it was 22 years ago that a long-term inflammatory issue turned illness resulted in 2 major surgeries 2 years in a row. Long story short, the second major surgery, in the recovery room with hundreds of internal stitches and 9 staples in my abdomen, I made the decision, after feeling this tremendous awareness that what's happening is not okay. I don't want to continue going down this road. I knew intuitively, I knew instinctively that this was not the way life was supposed to be. I knew I was supposed to have health and energy and feel well. I had 2 little kids at home. I was only 33 at the time. And so I felt this powerful knowing that things were going to change for the better, and that I was being told to go learn as much as I could about this miraculous creation we call the body. I call it the vehicle that houses our soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was supposed to go find out as much as I could about the body, how it worked, what it was already doing so miraculously. And I would learn how to give it what it needed so that it could do what it already knew how to do.
Right.
And that's what I did. I went home. I had, 6 weeks of recovering from this major surgery that didn't solve the problem, right? Nor did the years of different things, that they had tried. And so I knew that problem wasn't solved. I knew that it was rooted in inflammation. And the more I learned, the more I knew that the body could heal. I just needed to find out what it needed and to give it those right things. So as I was healing, learning about nutrition, learning about health and wellness. I hadn't grown up in a health conscious environment. I didn't know anything growing up. I didn't learn it in school. So I went and sought the education and the information. And I was so fortunate to find a place that was teaching holistic, natural health, spirituality, mindset, all of the in very important components of wellness. And wellness I call whole life wellness, because it's the whole being. We are not just a body, we are a spiritual being having a physical experience on this planet, and our body is the vehicle that carries our soul through this physical existence, and it deserves to be given what it needs. And it has very specific needs. We have elements for survival for this body. And so what I learned was a tremendous amount of information about the body, what it needs, but about the entire being, and how we can not just give ourselves healthy food, healthy water, but be able to create a new routine, new habits, change our thought patterns, release the limiting beliefs and the limiting thought patterns that are holding us back. Why are we defending the very things in our lives that continue to bring the inflammation, the contributors to the inflammation that are causing the symptoms of the issues? I always say, like you said in the intro, I always say there are no such things as age-related conditions and diseases. And I have lived that, because 22 years ago, I felt 100. I felt exhausted. I lived in pain. I had back pain, abdominal pain, headaches, skin issues, weight fluctuations, couldn't lose weight, all the things. And 22 years later, at 55 next month, I don't have any pain. I have no joint pain. I feel great. I'm on no medications, have a lot of energy, work out, daily, and feel great. So my point in bringing that up is I'm 22 years older, and I feel better than I did when I was 20, when I was, in my early 30s. So that's a little history of my experience. And an experience like that, anyone who's listening, who has had a transcending experience, who has had an empowering experience, we want to share that, right? And I remember in that recovery room feeling that I was being told, I knew God was saying to me, you're going to go learn, and then you're going to teach and share everything that you learn and continue to learn the rest of your life. And that's the gift in this experience. And it was beautiful. So that's a little history behind it. Now, I know today we're talking about specifically the holidays, right? We're in the midst of busyness. We're in the midst of celebrating. We're in the midst of so many things in, the holiday part of the year that we're in. And this can be something that a lot of people find difficult to navigate when they're trying to remain in a healthy routine and healthy habits, or I even have, clients that are starting their new health journey now, which I congratulate people for starting. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to wait till after the holidays, and have my quote unquote fun, and then And so then we go back to define fun, right? Define health, define, what is our intention? So I'm prepared to talk about that.
Awesome. Yes. I wanted to try to give people some, and I know you know lots of tips and all for navigating through the holiday season and the holiday parties, and how to avoid some of the pitfalls of gaining that 10-15 pounds that so many people do over the holidays. And then that's why they make that New Year's resolution, because then it's like, oh, I got to get this weight off. Well, what if you could go through the holidays and still enjoy them and not put on that weight?
Exactly.
Which you've modeled as long as I've known you. So
yeah. And you as well. And the reason for that is, getting to that place where we know what we want. And that's actually how I start my book, is the decision. Because until we can't create change, we can't step into anything new until we fully decide with intention what we want. We have to decide, what do we want? Like back in that recovery room after that second surgery, I decided right then and there, I didn't want any more of that. I wanted to be healthy. I didn't ever want to end up on an operating table again. So what do we have in our lives that we say, it's not where we want to be? So where do we want to be? So setting the intention of, what do I want? How do I want to feel? How do I want, to live? What do I want, not just for now, but, what we do today determines in our physical body, it determines how we're going to live 10 years from now, 20 years from now. We're creating the future of our wellness by what we're doing today. Because it's cumulative. The body is so fantastically brilliant. And the cells of the body are working right now, to do everything that they are supposed to do. They're working for us, right? We have trillions of cells working so hard within us, for us. And that is an awareness that if we wake up in the morning and have that awareness of, okay, I have a purpose. My soul is here for a reason. What am I supposed to go out there and give and share and be and do today? And how can I best do that? And my message is, everyone has that. Everyone is this beautiful soul on this planet, whether they know it or have connected to that or believe it or, or not, or wherever they are. But we all are. We are all here for a reason. And if we allow, and I say it this way, your body is not who you are, but it houses who you are. Your spirit, soul, heart, and mind, that's who you are. But without a healthy physical body with which to carry your soul through this physical existence, you may not be able to fully live out your purpose on this planet, because we can get so distracted and sidetracked with illness. And somebody living in chronic pain and chronic disease is not going to be totally focused on their soul's purpose, because they're sidetracked by the pain and the doctor's appointments and the medications and the side effects and all those things. So making that decision is number one. So how can we stay, if we're already in a good routine and we're feeling good about our wellness journey and our fitness journey and our nutrition and our hydration, how can we stay there? That's actually the simplest part, because we just don't, that's our lifestyle. Like I just say to people, that's the way we live, whether it's a holiday or a birthday or a vacation, whatever takes us outside of our normal routine, we still keep the same wellness routine. You are a perfect example of this, my friend, because I know you travel all the time. It's always, where's Dawna somewhere in the world, right? She's got a fantastic travel life, and is always going to someplace amazing, doing something wonderful. And I love that about you. But what's so amazing about you, and where you inspire me so much, is no matter where you are, you stick to your routine. You find a gym, you're in the hotel gym, you're wherever you are, you're getting your workout in. I know I've traveled with you. The first thing you do is you go and you get your food, your healthy food. I've been with you where we've done that, right?
Yeah.
And you fill your hotel room or your Airbnb or wherever you're staying with what you need. So being intentional, okay, in every area of our life, and that takes practice. And you know why? Because whatever we're doing right now, if it's not serving our highest good, is still intentional. Even if we're not being intentional, we're not being intentional about being intentional, if that makes sense. So we're just living on autopilot, right? And so if we're doing all these other things, like before I knew, we're doing the best we can with the knowledge we have at the time, and we know when we know better, we can do better. But if we make but if we make the intention and the decision that, okay, I'm aware right now of where I am, how do I feel? Am I on a medication? Am I feeling tired? Do I have joint pain? Like these are the things I ask my clients, because they have to fill out obviously a full health history and all the things. And I have an expanded assessment that I go through, and I ask all these questions, because until we connect and are aware of where we are, we're not going to make the changes to where we want to be. So the goal is, make the changes, create new habits, new routines to get us to where we want to be if we're not there already. If we're there already, keep doing the same things regardless of holidays, right? Okay, so having said all of that, how do we make the intentions? And how do we make the changes? So the first thing we do is the awareness, and then we write it down. What do we want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? How do you want to live? And even before that, like, what is your passion? What is your purpose? How can you best do that? Well, tending to a healthy physical body is going to give you more of that foundation with which to be able to go out and do everything you're doing in this world, which I believe we're all here to give from, from our highest good, from our light, from, you said it in the intro, we are all extensions of the source that created us. I use the word God. God is within me. And I feel that inspiration means inspire. It's within, it comes from within. And so the body is an amazing vehicle housing this soul. So we need to tend to it and give it good things. So how do we do that? We make the decision, and then we go, okay, what does the body need? I always talk about it as building wellness from the foundation up and from the inside out, because trying it from the outside in is being reactive, right? That's waiting for a symptom to appear before we address something. Well, by the time a symptom appears, by the time we feel tired, by the time we feel, GI issues or whatever it is, there's been something going on inside for a while. So it's getting to the root cause, giving the body what it needs from the inside out and the foundation up. So what does the body need? In order of importance, the life-sustaining elements. We have to give the body those things in the right amounts and in the highest quality. And that's the way we start. And it might seem very simple, but simple is powerful. And we start with air. Are we breathing? I know that sounds strange, because of course we're all breathing because we're alive, right? But are we taking healthy breaths, right? Are we so waking up in the morning and getting into the habit of filling the body with oxygen through breathing exercises? So first thing in the morning, I always say, wake up, say thank you. You woke up. You woke up. Your eyes are open. Wherever you are, say thank you. Right? That's a huge, powerful, positive way to start. And take a breath, big, deep breath, right? I do 5 deep breaths, hold for 5, exhale for 5, hold for 5. I do that 3 times. It's a great way to fill the body with oxygen. It's a great way to not jump into the brain taking you into your day, or bringing you into the past, or doing what the brain wants to do to kind of, keep in that autopilot routine. So breathing is going to help you get intentional and get aware. And then you're not just jumping up and going off, and letting the day take you off, like we sometimes let that. And we all do that sometimes, but we know that those days don't go as planned because we weren't intentional. So taking those breaths is huge. Then what does the body need after air? Water. This is in order of importance for life-sustaining elements for the physical body. Air, water, food. So get up in the morning, breathe, then drink 20 to 30 ounces. And that might seem like a lot of water in the morning. Some people, that's all they're drinking a whole day, right? So that alone, getting your body hydrated, is going to be life changing for the way that your body is functioning and the way that every cell is functioning. And I mean, we can go deep into every tiny little aspect of what I'm explaining here has an entire, whole other session just on that specific part of it alone. But air, then water, and then getting some healthy food in. So here's where we get into the holidays, right? And I'm gonna stop here because I tend to not even let you jump in.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just wanted to say, I hope that people were writing this down, and, because awareness, that is so key for so much in our life, and having an intentional life, making our dreams come true. We have to be aware of so many things. And so that's a great word for applying it to healthy eating and to our bodies, being aware. So many people mindlessly eat. And that's why they say don't eat in front of a TV, because it's so easy to tune out what you're doing and what you're putting in your body, and if your body likes it or doesn't like it, and if your body's feeling full or not, is your body satisfied or not. It's important to also have a pleasant environment to take in your food, and say thank you. Say thank you to whatever you're going to eat, for the nutrients that your body's going to absorb. And hopefully you are eating high quality food, organic, responsibly grown, and cared for. And, even if you eat meat, make sure you know where it came from. Make sure it is not full of a bunch of poison that then you're going to absorb and make it much harder on your body to function at the optimal level. But water is so vital. Yes, air, and, Shereen, Karen, I've done it on here, the evasive breath, where you bring your hand to your heart. That helps you just connect your mind and your soul to your heart. And so doing the evasive breath, taking those deep breaths in and releasing that stale air from your night of sleep, where you weren't moving, where you weren't taking deep breaths. That's really important. And then the water, it may sound like a lot, but honestly, when you start to feel thirsty, you're already down about 16 ounces. So you really want to drink at least a couple glasses, big glasses, first thing in the morning. It's going to activate your brain. It's going to turn your cells on in your body, help your organs and kidneys and liver and all get going in a healthy manner. And so that is very vital. So thank you for sharing those, because I'm right there. Yes.
Well, and it's a simple step that a lot of people, yes. And thank you. And that's a great segue to where I was going next in the morning, because it's a simple thing that a lot of people, when we just get out of bed and rush off into our day, so many people forget to drink water. They go right to their coffee machine or their tea, or they go to the bathroom, they get in the shower, right? And pretty soon the day takes you away. So even adding 10 minutes to your morning, if you feel like you already have your morning pretty packed full, just add 10 minutes, because it's going to be the 10 minutes that changes your life if you're not happy with where you are. So and I love that you said breathing out the stale air, because what's going on at night while you sleep is your body's utilizing that time to detoxify, to rebalance, to regenerate, to renew. All of the systems while you're sleeping have some time, right? They have that extra energy. You're not running around and doing all these things, and we're not hopefully digesting. So, making sure not to eat at least an hour before you go to bed, give your digestive system a little break so your body can do all those things. But your body's detoxing throughout the night. And so when you get up in the morning and you have to go to the bathroom, that's a release of those toxins, right? So then we want to refill the body with a bunch of water. And there's good and bad water, just like there's good and bad food, healthy and unhealthy, inflammatory and inflammatory. So in my book, I make that, very descriptive about what are the contributors to the inflammatory producing foods and water. So we need to have a whole other hour on just water and talk specifically about living water. Yeah. And I look forward to that
for sure.
because it really does matter, because just like some food isn't providing nutrition, some water isn't actually providing the right amount of hydration or healthy hydration. So that's something to think about. But get up in the morning and drink water, because you're giving your body back the water that it needs to continue to do the work and to be able to keep your detoxification systems rocking and rolling. Because if we get dehydrated, your blood is supposed to be 90% water. If the blood is dehydrated, it will be thickened. And when blood gets thickened, things get concentrated like sugars, right? And it gets hard to flow through the arteries and the veins, and especially the microscopic capillaries. So it's hard for the blood to get where it needs to go. So why do we breathe? To bring oxygen into our bloodstream. Let's get some physiology going here, some biology, right? We breathe in, the oxygen comes in, right? We breathe out the carbon dioxide, and we're also, when we exhale, so the breathing in the morning is helpful with this, we're breathing out toxins. So the breathing alone is part of our detoxification, very important part. So deep breaths, cleansing breaths, whatever name you want to give your breathing routine is amazing, but make sure, and I love that hand on your heart, because it just like when I'm training someone in the gym, I'm like having them actually put intention on what muscle they're working or that type of thing, because it helps connect everything. So deep breaths, exhaling deeply, and then getting the water in there. That's all part of keeping your detoxification systems really flowing. And the reason for that this is so important is because during these times where we're super busy in the holidays, everybody's rushing around and having bigger meals and eating things that aren't part of their natural, I shouldn't say natural, daily routine, right? We're typically eating different things. We're celebrating and we're having more of the snack and the desserts and things like that. That's really important to keep your detoxification systems working well, because it's going to help your body to detox those things that it doesn't want. So it's going to be able to, pick and choose and use what it can and then get rid of what it can't. But if the detoxification systems are clogged up, for, to keep it this real language, then it's not going to be able to work well for you. And so those things are going to accumulate. So, but then getting back to, all the different things that we're eating, there are such simple ways, and I really want to share this, to make the recipes that you love healthier. That's what I'll tell people is like, they'll say, well, what am I supposed to do? Because my family loves this and my family loves that. And this recipe's been in my, family for generations and all of these things. Or I'm going to go over to so-and-so's house and I can't control what they're going to cook. And these are all valid, because we all, in the world we live in, we're all coming up against this type of stuff. We have more processed food. We're going to be a guest in a home. We don't want to hurt someone's feelings. We don't want to be rude, all the things. And you know what I say is, when we're intentional, get back to that. What do we want, right? How do we want to look back on our holiday season on January 1? Do we want to look back, or I guess January 1 is a holiday kind of too, when people are, still celebrating the new year. But January 2nd, when you look back all the way back through and go, wow, I really did well. I was intentional. I made sure to give my body healthy things every possible chance that I could. You're going to feel really good about that. That's going to keep your energy high. It's going to keep you in a positive high vibration, feeling good and feeling empowered. And empowered is a really high vibration. We want to be in that empowered feeling. So how can we do that? So the easiest way, this is all I do. I will Google dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free recipes. We don't have to rewrite the books on this, because there are so many, and I have examples in my book, but there are so many great sources out there where you can find that green bean casserole. You can find, a healthier stuffing mix, or, a different kind of bread, whatever it is that you like in your holiday meals. And this is getting super specific, but these are the questions I get asked. And so I'm sure everybody's thinking this. You can find healthier ways, and it doesn't mean it's not going to taste as good. I promise you, there are super delicious ways to make these same meals healthier. And it's fun. And it's fun. It doesn't take away, it actually adds to. Or another tip is to, if you're going to, somebody else's house and they already have the meal planned, right? You can bring a couple of things that are new and different and healthier that you're going to eat primarily, right? This is what I do all the time. I'll bring a couple of dishes that I know I'm going to fill 3/4 of my plate up with, because I know that I'm going to stay on track, because I like the way I feel. I like the way I felt for the last 15 plus years. I haven't fluctuated. I keep getting healthier and feeling better. And so I'm not going to waver from that, because that's what I want. That's what I like. And I'll be 55 next year. When I'm 70, I want to be feeling even better. Still be doing, in the gym, still be doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
And so that's making the decisions today. So changing our mindset, getting intentional. What do we want? What do we want? That feels really good to say, what do I want? A lot of people don't even take the time to ask themselves that, right? And if we don't know what we want, you and I talk about this all the time. If we don't know what we want, we're not going to even think about how to get there. If you get into your car and you don't know where you're going, you're just going to drive around in circles, right? It's a GPS kind of thing. So we've got to take the time. What do we want? And I have it here. Set your intention, write it down, read it out loud every day. Why do we forget and go into autopilot? Because we get out of habit, we get out of routine. So it takes time to create a new routine. So find a way to make your recipes you love healthier. How do you do that? You take out all the inflammatory ingredients and you replace them with ingredients that are healthier, that aren't contributing to inflammation. And that's the way you do it. And it's really not hard, especially now, because there's so many dairy alternatives. There are plant-based alternatives to all of these ingredients that we used to use that are inflammatory. So that's number one. Number two is make your own new things and have fun with that. Creating a new tradition that's healthier, that's fun. And changing your mindset to, oh my gosh, I have to find all these new ways I get to find new ways to give my amazing, miraculous body healthy things so I can change my future to a healthier future and feel better. Because here's what's true about the body you're walking around in. It is always making new cells. It is always regenerating, but it's doing that based on what we give it. So doesn't that make you go, oh, and when I knew that, when I learned that, back when I went back to school, I closed out a business I had at the time, and I literally went back and spent time just educating myself, because I knew that's what I had to do in order to create the change for my life that I wanted. When I learned what the body was doing, I was like, this is my heart doing this. These are my blood vessels doing this. This is my liver doing this. This is my small intestine doing this. What does it need? It was like all of a sudden, this was my family within me that I wanted to give it good things. So it becomes this passion of, I don't want to put junk in here anymore. I don't want to dehydrate my body. I don't want to make.
Oh, did we lose you again? Oh no. That's a really good point. I just want to keep going on what Lori was saying about, it is quality in, quality out. And you can say to me, because I've had people say this to me, but I feel fine. I've been fine without drinking water. I feel fine without, with eating junk, with eating McDonald's crap food. I've been, I don't have anything wrong. Well, you may not realize that you have something happening inside, because our body does not have a sensor like our car does. And it doesn't tell you when it needs more magnesium or potassium or calcium or sodium or even more water. Chances are you're not paying attention. And that goes back to being tuned into your body, being tuned in, having that awareness, and being tuned into your body. Welcoming Lori back. Hi, Lori. She's drinking your water. Sorry. I was just continuing on saying that, people could have, and I'm sure they've told you this too, that they feel fine not drinking water. They feel fine eating junk. They feel fine, but they don't have the awareness. They're not in tune with their body, because honestly, if they were, they would go, oh yeah, I get migraines all the time, or I have a nagging headache every morning, or until I drink that caffeine and eat that candy bar. They have aches and pains. They have on, but they're not correlating because they're not having that awareness that you mentioned at the beginning. So it really does make a difference what you put in your body. It is that quality in, quality out. And if you want optimal health, sugar, you have to replace sugar with something that is not going to spike your glycemic index and cause so much acidity and inflammation. And that would be raw honey and real organic maple syrup, agave,
Dates.
dates. Yeah, I love date syrup. You can get date syrup now, but dates in general. You can make some really yummy, creamy cheesecake type bars and bites and cheesecakes out of cashews.
Yes.
And using some coconut, use coconut sugar or coconut cream, for it. And it gives it a nice, yummy flavor. So there, like Lori said, there are tons of recipes out there these days that help you avoid the things that cause inflammation. Dairy causes a lot of inflammation in the body and so on. And it's not saying don't, okay, you love, let's say brie cheese is your favorite thing. And it's something that your aunt always brings to Christmas dinner, this wonderful baked brie dish. Okay, have a little bit, but make sure that the rest of your stuff is anti-inflammatory. And, it's not depriving yourself completely, but it's paying attention. And if those 7-layer cookie bars are your favorite, you always look forward to them at the holidays, have a little one, don't have a big bar. Limit yourself as a loving thing to do for your body. Moderation in everything, and it's okay to have that, special drink or whatever that everybody has, whatever your traditions are. But then make sure that you're compensating it with water. Make sure that you're compensating that sugar, or try to eliminate it. Try to find a recipe to make that's healthier, and balance it out with anti-inflammatory foods, fruits and vegetables, that sort of thing. So continue. We have about 5 more minutes.
Yes, that's exactly right. It's switching things out. And then the very basic tips that I have are: get up in the morning and do your water. And then if it's going to be a busy day, if you don't know where your day is going to go, if you're going to be visiting or you're out of town or whatever, start your day with something very simple like a healthy shake. Get the nutrition in right away, right? So make sure that morning routine includes, so it's air, water, food, movement, air, water, food, movement. And if we think about that in the morning, in addition to whatever your normal routine is now, get that in first, and then do a shake with a bunch of greens. Get your spinach. I throw in frozen zucchini, which is really creamy. You don't even taste it, like chopped up zucchini, put it in the freezer. Frozen berries. Get a plant-based protein powder, something that is like pea protein, alfalfa protein, hemp protein is amazing. Not the whey. Whey is dairy, and whey is inflammatory, just like Dawna said. So get a plant-based protein powder. You can connect with myself or Dawna to give you some good some good suggestions for that, because you want a clean protein powder that doesn't have a bunch of fillers in it. And then create a shake in the morning. And, that can be in addition to maybe you like a breakfast of, sourdough with avocado toast or something like that, or oatmeal or whatever, but have that shake. And then you're preempting your day. You're starting your body out with a really healthy meal that's full of enzymes. I talk a lot about enzymes. I talk a lot about fiber and the natural phytonutrients that come in raw fruits and vegetables. So I do frozen and raw in my shake. And that's giving your digestive tract basically like a nice break and a cleaner. Like you're fueling your cells with nutrition, but you're also helping the detoxification process continue to be strong, and giving your digestive system a break. So doing that can be a really great, start to the day. So find a way to put vegetables and fruits in throughout the day. When you're creating your plate, do 3/4 of your plate. At least 3/4. I like to do 90-10, but if 75-25, is a good start for you, 3/4 of your plate, 80-90% of your plate with vegetables and healthy choices, and then have, whatever those things are, like Dawna said. So try to do the 80-20. All of that, is going to be super powerful for you throughout the holidays. It's going to keep you on track. In fact, you might even feel healthier after because you're being extra intentional. And then find some time to do some movement. Don't just block out exercise out. I'm too busy. No, 10 minutes. So many times we're all or nothing, right? 10 minutes. If that's all you have, do something for 10 minutes and enjoy it. And celebrate yourself for doing that 10 minutes. So stay on routine as possible, increase your water, find ways to add veggies to everything, change out, dairy for oat milk. At Thanksgiving, we had a pumpkin pie made with oat milk and coconut sugar, and it was better than the old stuff. It was so delicious. And then we used coconut whipped cream instead of the old junk that's corn syrup and basically plastic, right? Think about that. Whatever we eat is what we're feeding the cells of our body that make up our organs. Think about that. Just think about that, and you'll rethink and look at the ingredients and then Google healthier ways. And it's not as hard as it sounds. Let me see. Of all the notes I have, is that because I've got like 1 more minute. I think that's it. I mean, taking just that little bit of extra time, maybe take a couple of hours on a day and just Google these healthy recipes. You'll get super excited at how beautiful they are, and you'll be amazed at how delicious they are. And then we're going to avoid that bloat, that indigestion, that stuff that people think is normal. And I'll say one more thing, just as an ending. We have been so conditioned to just think that things like acid reflux, indigestion, bloating, constipation, we've been conditioned to think that those are a normal part of life, and they're not. We don't get these things just because we get older, and we don't have these things just because somebody in our family did. They're inflammatory related. And when we take out the contributors to what's causing those things, most of the time those symptoms will go away, and we won't have to worry about acid reflux and things like that. So, and those are not just an annoyance. It's actually a grievous situation. Your body is crying out and saying something's out of balance and something's wrong. So having said that, just know that we have, with intention, with changing our routines, with making some simple changes, we are empowered to be able to give these miraculous vehicles that house our souls something better, not just today, but all the way through the holidays and for the rest of our lives, and feel better because of it, and show up for our families and the world and everything in a better way, in a more excited way, in a healthier way.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's always so fun to have you on, and it always goes so fast, and we can always talk for hours and hours and hours more. So we'll have to find a time for you to come back in January, February, and take some more of this one by one, because it's all so important. And just, even step outside for 5 minutes, soak up a little bit of sun, walk up and down the block, do something for your body, and it feeds your soul. It really does. And, going for walks is one of the healthiest things you can do for your mind, body, and soul, because it gets you outside and you're moving in a gentle way. You're getting your lymphatic system flowing and all of that. So there's simple things you can do. But if you can't get outside, you can do some burpees. You can do some mountain climbers. You can do some planks. You can do some push-ups, you can do some sit-ups, you can do some little things to get your body going. And you don't have to be, or just do some deep breathing, do some, squat down and breathe up. There's lots of things. But anyway, we're out of time. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you, Lori. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Love all the information you have. Go find her book, get her book, because it's amazing and it's packed full of so much information that is so helpful. And I thank you for it very much.
Thank you.
So,
my pleasure.
Everyone you've got the full moon on Saturday. Venus is conjuncting Pluto immediately afterwards. It's going to be a powerful weekend. Set your intention for transforming and for creating the life that you want, because you can make 2022 an incredible year. Join us New Year's Eve and join me next week. I love you all. Thank you, Lori. I love you. So appreciate you. And sending everyone lots of love and blessings. Namaste, everyone.